Hi guys, this is your boy Somsky and welcome to my game review about Dunk City Dynasty. Dunk City Dynasty is a 3v3 online street basketball game which you can play on your mobile phone. It is similar to Freestyle and Basketball Hero, however I think this is actually much better just because of the game modes and the characters that you can select inside the game. And aside from that, unlike any other basketball games, in Dunk City Dynasty you will be able to distinguish the uniqueness of each characters based on the movesets that they have. The game is also generous when it comes to events where you can redeem items and of course, free characters. So now, I think it's time to talk about the game further. So let's start with the most peculiar thing about this game, the characters. As you can see, even though that this is a street basketball game, most of the characters here are based from actual NBA players. They do have my all-time favorite player, Derrick Rose, and of course, the most popular players in the current NBA right now, including LeBron James. And the most cool thing about that is the idea of the developers to get the movesets of these players in real life and incorporate it inside the game. From the way they shoot and to the way how they make their crossovers. I think this is the best street basketball game in adapting real life NBA players. Because aside from the skills in animation, the stats of these players resembles their performance in real life. And the accuracy of this data is really comparable to NBA 2K series. So if you really love the NBA, I think this is one of the best games that I can suggest. And speaking of stats, the game also provides a way for you to enhance your characters depending on how you want to play them. The character building here is so simple, so it's really friendly for casual gamers. They even have a recommendation so you can just pick which one fits your playstyle. For me, I think it will be fun if they're going to add more on character building aside from potential pages. But at the same time, I really appreciate the simplicity of this game. Because the simpler it is, less time will be needed in order for you to enjoy the game. Speaking of less time, I think we can now talk about the game modes. Compared to other street basketball games, I think Dunk City Dynasty has the best and the most unique game modes that you can play with. So let me tell you the reason why, starting with the 11-point ball game. In this game mode, you will only get to play one character while playing with other players. It is like a normal game mode in other street basketball games. However, the playtime of the 11-point ball game is much faster. Because on this game mode, you don't need to wait for the game time to expire. All you have to do is to hit 11 points and it will be game over. Just like the game in the background, the game can only last 1.5 minutes. So try to imagine playing up to 10 games just within your 15-minute break. Compared to Mobile Legends and any other games, in Dunk City Dynasty, you will never be over break. Because on this game mode, there can only be a fast break. Yes, because out of all the good games out there, the 11-point ball game is the fastest game mode that I've ever played. Because this is the only game mode that you can finish in less than 2 minutes. See what I mean? So if you are a busy person, but you really want to unwind, even if you only have 5 minutes to spare, I think this is the best game for you. So let's move on to our next game mode, the Dynasty mode. I want to inform you guys that this game mode is the actual reason why I chose to play Dunk City Dynasty over other street basketball games. Because in Dynasty mode, not only you are able to control one character, but also you are able to control the rest of the characters in your team. Which means that you are able to control all three characters while playing with the other player. So it's like playing the NBA 2K series. But the difference is, you will be playing in half court with a street basketball vibe. Just like in the NBA, in Dynasty mode, you will be able to generate and execute plays, which is sometimes really hard to do in solo queue. So this is really a perfect alternative if you are really tired of doing solo queue. Especially if you really want that NBA 2K series vibe while playing a street basketball game. And mind you guys, Dunk City Dynasty is the only street basketball game who offers this kind of game mode. Because I already played Freestyle, Basketball Hero 1 and 2, Basket Trio, and even Street Basketball Play Park. None of those games offer this type of game mode. Well, at least during the time that I played them. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot to tell you that Dynasty mode is also a ranked game wherein you will be able to gain stars after winning matches. Well, that being said, I think it's now time to move on with our next game mode, the Summit mode. Just like in any other games, Dunk City Dynasty has its own standard rank mode. And that's where the Summit mode comes in. This is just like the 11-point ball game, however this time, you need to wait for the game time to expire. Which means you need to have higher points than your opponent before the match ends. Well, I guess I don't need to explain this game mode much further because I know that we are all familiar with it. So let's now move on to our next game mode, the Stadium Match. The Stadium Match is the most interesting game mode for me here in Dunk City Dynasty. Because if you are playing Ragnarok online, this is like a guild war in basketball. In this game mode, you and your team will be able to have a chance to compete with other stadium teams in a tournament, wherein each round you will be given different target points in order for you to win the game. In the first round, it's just going to be an 11-point ball game. As you move up the ladder, higher points is needed in order for you to win. So in the second round, it is going to be a 16-point ball game. Lastly, in the final round, it is going to be a 21-point ball game. So that sums up our stadium match. Last but not the least, let's discuss the room customization. Unlike the previous game modes, in the room customization, you will have the ability to select your opponent and even play with your friends, and select a specific game mode to play, like the 11-point ball game, the classic 3v3, Summit mode, Dynasty mode, 2v2, 1v1, and even a rebound room. So those are the ways for you to play Dunk City Dynasty. Well, I hope that I was able to give you all the information that you needed. But before we wrap up this video, I wanted to know that this game just started last March this year, which means we can expect the developers to add more NBA players to the game. Aside from that, They are also doing balance changes to enhance gaming experience. So I'm confident that this game is going to be stable for a very long time. So I think we're all set. I'm planning to create more videos on Dunk City Dynasty. So if you have suggestions about topic to discuss, kindly post it on the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed the video, please do not forget to click the like and subscribe button. So once again, this is your boy Samsky signing out.